So today we are talking about the on half cross technique study that I just put out. And it's this big, dumb riff that's like. I love big dumb riffs, and this I set this thing up to be for multiple levels. On a beginner level, the bass line is not that hard. Right? It's really just this low D to C to higher D, and then you change the rhythm a little bit, and then the turnaround is just low D, E flat, C sharp, D. Right? It just repeats that 4 times. Then it gets a little bit trickier. Now we're going high to low. In the second part, we hit high to low. And we're staying with the high to low pattern for when we get up to that F. Right, so first we start out on D, then up to F, back to D. Now it gets a little tricky. Now we're going to have to jump with our left hand up to this octave D. Like that. It can be a little tricky. If you want to use a different finger than your second finger, I'm using my second finger to help keep the strings muted a little bit better. When you play with distortion on, it keeping contact with the strings at all times becomes a much more important aspect of your playing to help keep things muted and cleaner. And so that's why I'm making that choice. But we jump up from the low D to the higher D. And go left, right, right, left, right, right. And that's just a really quick 1 octave minor pentatonic scale. You got the root, minor third, perfect fourth, fifth with your left hand on the next string up, flat 7, and octave. And we jump back down to 1 octave down to restart the riff. Same thing. Now we're gonna, with a series of pull-offs, we're taking a different chunk of the same pentatonic scale, right? And these two-string pentatonics, 3 notes per string, are a really great way to traverse basically an octave on the bass side. There's going to be a separate video for that entirely. Right, and we're doing pull-offs. You really want to kind of stay legato with it. When we get there, back to the same thing. Now we jump up to the 11th fret, that high C sharp, and we just kind of like to add a little bend when I travel up to that high D. Then the treble side part is set up to be a little bit more intermediate. And so we're starting with these power chords, right? And we're starting with our left hand. And instead of getting caught like that and having to do this awkward jump, right? We're going to, since we have 2 hands, we're going to actually on the last lower thing, we're going from D to C. Like that, just 1 string set down. We're going to slide down with our left hand. And then you can just hold it there while you play that F power chord above it. And then reset. Now you can stay there as you adjust your left hand, and you're using the exact same shapes as on the bass side. Literally the exact same shape. And that's the nice thing about the stick tuning, is that all of your shapes are going to be the same. They might get you different results from the octave switching, but they're still the same shapes. And then back to that. Slide. Now we're sliding again for this one, and we're moving our right hand up to the 10th fret. Well, it's 10th fret in classic tuning, and it would be 12th fret. I'm sorry, it's 10th fret in matched reciprocal tuning, and it would be 12th fret in classic. The treble side would be a whole step up. And we're going pull-offs again here, but you can't do that on the next string because it makes the setup really weird for your left hand. So what you're going to do on the next string is you do pull-offs between your right and left hand, and then you do a pull and a slide with only your right hand on the next string. And that sets you right up for that. And then when you are doing the turnaround, it's, you know, same thing, slide, and then 11th fret from the C sharp and the G sharp on the treble side, have a 4th, slide it up a half step. Like that. And as you're doing that, you want to set up your left hand for a D minor or a D power chord, and we're going to get a little bit shapy here. So the shapes that I'm using in my right hand are a 9th arpeggio, and then just a little, you know, a perfect 5th, and then minor chords. And I do the turnaround by hitting a C down below. And I'm interspersing, to start out every section of this riff, I'm interspersing with one note from my left hand. So it's like, so right, right, left, right, 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 left, right, right, left, right, 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 left, right, 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 right. All together. And you really want to stay in like a 4 fret position for this, or really a 5 fret position if you can. You know, going. Because, you know, you'll keep everything nice and contained. And the fingering for my right hand is 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, left hand, 1, 2, 4, left hand, 1, 2, 4, 1. And then, to end it, all you do is, instead of playing the C, you just use your left hand to play a D. And do a hard cut like that. So that's pretty much it. This one is all about working that half-cross technique and getting your hands working together to make a, you know, a smoother sound, and, you know, with broader intervals and stuff like that. And this is a great opportunity to kind of take a look at how I'm thinking about using the stick as an arrangement instrument. You know, you've got, you know, this bass line here, and it's a bass line all the way through, and then you've got like this guitar riff thing going on. So that's, you know, I think that's kind of cool too. So that's about it. Give it a shot. I would say see if you can get through the whole song on bass, and if you want to add an extra challenge for yourself, when the A section comes back at the end, try doing it plucked, right? You know, and for me, when I'm doing a pluck technique with a big, broad interval jump like that, I tend to leave the string depressed as I head up to the next note. I find that this it works, but it's a little jerky for me, and I like to I like the sound of the slide. Feels like the whole thing is a little bit smoother and maybe a little bit less, I don't know, fretty, I guess. Anyway, that's about it. So give it a shot. Keep exploring.